Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your...
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
False start, offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
Rodgers going to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
And then after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
319!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
258!
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll check on his status when we get back. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Melvin Ingram in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
All right, here we go.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
All right, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now he's flushed out right. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 20 carries, 77 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football. And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. A first down carry here for Johnson. He had a great move, but it'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And now running right through him. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Packers. David Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Derrick Henry. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 20 carries, 62 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
We got three, fellas. Hurry up, here we go.
Now a handoff to Henry. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
He'll drop to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Looking to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Henry. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Let's go. 3.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and of course it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Underneath for Johnson. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now a handoff, Johnson, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 6-play drive, and the result a Green Bay score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 14-3, that's our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Hey, 4 down. Now let's go. Green.
A give to Henry. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 30.
A first down carry for Henry. Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, hold it.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And now let's look at David Johnson. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Johnson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's Henry. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
throw now on 2nd and 10. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down.
3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll drop the throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the same play, the same set. And
he's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make it 17-13. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's in his own 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's the 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Rodgers to throw on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Packers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. This is taken at the 18. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Back to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll set up to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Rodgers now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And again, it's Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Rodgers now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Rodgers again now. Dumping it off for Johnson.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Holding, receiving team.
So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Jamison Crowder, a touchdown catch in the victory. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Josh Dotson, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who's on target in the first half. His guys lead on the road in Minneapolis as we send you back up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All right, here we go.
Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's James. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Let's go.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Let's go.
Henry. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Tackle made there by Jonathan Cyprien.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
All right, here we go. Green.
This is Henry, and he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now let's go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's got his man, Boyd. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
All right, partner, let's go to cliche time. We're all back to even after that score tied the game.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it will tie things at 20 all. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he is is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Throwing is Rodgers. Airing this one out for Evans. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Mike Evans, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers have moved out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
They'll run with Henry, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue,
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
They go play action here on first down. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now let's go.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Now let's go. Blue, landed.
Looking to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So a little extra time to ponder this 3rd and goal as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Breaks a tackle. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. The kick by Carlson is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, we focus on him for our Players Spotlight. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
On first down, Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. On third down, Johnson. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He completes it to Boyd. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green.
Back to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
To give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. Running left, it's Henry. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Steps away. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Carlson now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 23. Diggs with a good footwork. A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
All right, here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. They'll boot it away from about his 35. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And again, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
They run for it with Harris. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Running left, Henry. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. On now is the Packers punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
319.
Back to throw. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. He'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
319.
Back to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. He's going to let it fly. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow. How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point. That game's gone final now in Philly. Now the Cowboys have taken the lead in a very offensive-minded game. Dak Prescott, 2 touchdown passes in the W. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They're going to look to throw. And it's going to be knocked away and incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Packers are going to win this football game. So now let's look at the situation. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining, so barring a first down, they could conceivably get the ball back.
So now it's all about defense and stopping the clock. Don't give up any yardage, right? Use your timeouts. And your offense always practices going downfield without timeouts. You know, those 2-minute drills, most of them are run in practice without the benefit of timeouts and want to make it as tough a situation as possible. They're in it right now.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
So, hey, let's go, come on.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not in a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Packers, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at EA Sports.
And Joe perhaps getting frustrated that he hasn't been able